back to the Home and Life Design Summit Season 3, where we are having amazing discussions with beautiful artists and healers and mystics about embodying art and beauty to create more joy. I am your host, Fallon Jordan, and I'm so excited to have a real life artist, singer, songwriter here, Jennifer Harper. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with your sunshiny face.
You literally have the sunshine and the piano, like just living your best life, writing music and changing the world with your energy. And I'm just so excited to hear more about how you got started and just your journey with music, because it's very, very special.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, let's see. It's a long story. So where should I start? Should I start when I'm 4?
Well, I wanted to also let people know that some of your music is described as 1970s flower child spirit with a fresh layer of uplifting pop, which is like my dream music, which is why I'm so grateful that we found each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I've written and released 2 albums, and I'm working on the third. And the first 2, I would say that's definitely the description. And I would say you can still feel that in the work that I'm doing now. Although after the pandemic, I definitely went in a more healing direction. This is all music that I'm releasing now, is all music that I wrote during the pandemic. And at that time, I really immersed myself in spiritual women's circles and also songwriting circles, and a very different kind of sound started emerging. So the music I'm doing now has that flavor, but it's definitely more healing themes for sure. But in terms of how I got started, I mean, I did start at the age of 4 playing the piano. I just gravitated towards the piano. My father played piano, my sister played piano, and I just went right to it and fell in love with it. But it was much later that I did start writing music a little bit as a child, but I had a lot of confidence issues. I wouldn't sing in front of anybody. You know, if nobody was home, I would sing really, really loud. But even in front of my family, like I wouldn't really sing. And it wasn't until much later that I started getting, more confident about expressing my own voice. And that really happened through, I did theater training in college. I went to college and I studied multiple disciplines of art, but one of them was theater. And learning to find my truth, who I am through character, helped me a lot, because then I was able to, I didn't have to be myself.
Yeah.
I brought my truth, but through another character. I didn't have to express as myself. So it still took me a really long time to get comfortable sharing my voice. But at a certain point, I did a lot of theater in New York City. And at a certain point, I kind of had this moment on stage where I was like, I'm saying somebody else's words. I'm walking here and sitting here and doing this because that's what I'm supposed to do in the script. And I was like, I really want to say what I want to say. And I want to share who I am. And with synchronicity happened in that same theater, doing that show. I met somebody who had been in the music business a long time. And he sort of took me under his wing and helped me see that I was a songwriter, and helped me develop my confidence. And I certainly started to express my voice a lot more as a songwriter, and it grew from there. And now, of course, I have a frog in my voice that wants to join us in this conversation.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I did a lot of stuff today, like intuitive work, and I've been like coughing and yawning, and I'm like, look at this little throat chakra stuff coming out. And you're talking about how difficult it was for you to own your voice and your truth and share what you really wanted to share. So
yeah, exactly. It's like the feelings are still kind of in there when I go back and talk about it. Like, now it's much easier for me to share my voice. I wouldn't say that I'm, entirely comfortable in all arenas, but I've definitely reached a certain place where I'm comfortable. But talking about those times definitely does bring up, yeah, it brings up the memories of when it was, there I go again,
So interesting.
when it's so challenging. And really, I mean, I think personally what I have most to offer, in terms of my story, is that I really developed much later in life. It wasn't until after I had kids that I did my first performance in New York City of my music. I think I was 41 by the time I first did my first performance at a club in New York City. And and that's when my album came out. And then my second album, that didn't release till after I was 50.
Wow.
And I did my first performance with a full band at that time. So, I really feel like that part of the story is what's so important to share, because there was a long time that and a lot of things I had to work through to get comfortable. And part of it was I was a mom and I was devoted to my kids, and I just, that was full time for me. And I couldn't figure out how to also do the music. But I did write whenever I could in this room here. The kids sometimes would be running around, and I'd 5 minutes here or there to write a little something, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and eventually I put together these albums. So, but it was a huge learning curve. But certainly, I always feel like I want to encourage people of any age that they can they can get started, and it's never too late. It's never too late to follow your dreams.
I love
Yeah, and sorry, I'm babbling on a little bit, but in fact, I just started making music videos. So with the songs that I'm making now, I've done 2 music videos and a third one. Well, by the time this airs, it will be out already. But I'm I'm now 59.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. But there was a time where I wouldn't even I didn't want to even admit my age. Like, I don't want to tell. When my second album came out, it's like, I don't want to tell anybody I'm 50. I'm over 50. Like, it was really kind of I felt a little ashamed. Like, I wanted to seem like I was younger. And then somewhere in my 50s, I realized, no, like, I'm proud of who I am. And now I feel like it's a really important part of my story,
Mhm.
because that, first of all, it's a little bit more unusual. And I think it's the part that's encouraging to other people. A lot of times young people feel like, oh, I'm getting so old, they're turning 30 and they think their life is over. And there's so much life. There's so much opportunity. There's expression, self-expression in this way. It's just, it never ends throughout your life. So I'm very, very proud now of the music videos I've made. That's a dream of mine since I'm a little girl, and I'm just realizing that the dream's now.
Well, and I think it's a
So,
beautiful journey. And I think there's so many people that, whether it's age or something else, they have some kind of like excuse of why like they didn't get to where they were going to get until they got there. And it's just a lot of that stuff related to the healing and transformation, and like especially change is coming. Like that song of yours, like I feel it. Like I can feel it, like now that I know that you wrote it during the pandemic and stuff, like I'm like, wow, like you were definitely shedding some stuff, and it's really beautiful, and you can feel it because like your essence and your energy is going into it, and music is one of the most beautiful ways to heal, which is why I'm so grateful that you made time to have this conversation with us.
yeah, thank you. Uh, yeah, that song, interestingly, came directly out of a mastermind I was in with other women from around the world. And I really was picking up on the energy of the group. And in particular, there was one woman who was sharing certain things that I was really tuning in to her experience, which happens sometimes as a songwriter. But what I really learned is that I have, there's something that I'm able to do where I'm able to really pick up the energies that are, in the collective, or certainly in small groups, and then transcribe that sort of into music. And it came out, very quickly. I wasn't thinking. It wasn't about the mind. It was just the spirit coming through. And it's funny because a lot of the songs that I wrote now, like Change Is Coming, I would never have thought to record it. It was just like an offering. It felt like an offering to the women in the group. And then everybody was like, you have to record, you have to put, this is amazing. And it's interesting, and sometimes we need that reflection back from other people. And I was like, okay, I'll see what I could come up with. And I found a music healer who I really enjoyed what he was doing and how he put across his music. So I chose him to produce the song, did a lot of drumming, and really captured the essence of what I wanted. What I said to him, I was like, this is a drum call to women around the world to, connect and to wake up to their own, to their own power, and to connect in sisterhood, something like that. Like I went in, I was like, that's what this is. Like, we got a drum, we're going to call them in.
I
And he's
love
like,
that. That like gave me like full body chills, like answering the call of the drum, like
yeah,
naming your embodiment as a goddess.
yeah, yeah. I feel like my glasses are all getting,
They're getting foggy from our amazing conversation.
yeah. Yeah. So that was a really interesting experience. And then the next one, all of the songs that I've done, and that, some of them have been released and some of them are yet to be released within the next probably 6 months. But they all have different stories behind them, in terms of the healing journey. If I was with another group of people and what I was going through, what they were going through. And yeah, as a matter of fact, the song that's coming out this Friday, well, by the time it's coming out July 7th. So by the time this airs, it'll be out already. It's called Mary Magdalene.
Oh.
And yeah, that is a really incredible experience because honestly, I'm not well versed on Mary Magdalene. I'm not following a path of Mary Magdalene, but I tuned into the I was tuning into the energies that I was feeling, and in the collective, and what people were talking about. And I know a lot of women were on spiritual paths, following Mary Magdalene's teachings, or I don't even know how to speak about it because it's not something that I'm involved in. But something in me picked it up, and there's more of a story to this, which you can read, in various places. Actually, the best places, on my socials or on my email lists and stuff, I send out like the stories behind the songs. But I felt like she came to me, like that's how it felt, and gave me certain words and a melody. And I just felt like, oh, I guess I need to share this, even though it didn't feel like a song. And I never would have really thought to share it with audience. I knew I needed to share it with other women, but I didn't think, oh, record this and turn it into a song and put it on my album. It felt too sacred almost for that. But I was encouraged by, women in my songwriting circle and certain spiritual mentors. They were like, I have full body chills. Like you have to release that. Like people need to hear this song. So it's, by the time this is airing, it's out, and it is coming out this week. So right now I'm very excited about that. And
Well, I
but
can't because
yeah.
when this airs past Fallon, well, I've been able to been excited, but like when people are listening to this now, like I've been able to listen to it. I've been able to listen to it on the beach and like really being with Mother Earth and Mother Mary Magdalene. And it's really not surprising just because of your beauty and your essence for sure. But the fact that, like you said, like taking care of your kids and raising them was like very, very important to you. And I think for me, that's like we all need to be mothered and nurtured. And I have no doubt that you are an incredible, amazing mother and probably have the most precious, wonderful children who are making the world a better place and will continue making the world a better place with the generations that they provide. We just all need to be mothered and nurtured. And I can just tell that this song is going to help us like really feel that. And I'm just so excited because there's a lot of meditations with Mary Magdalene and stuff, but this is going to be so different. And I'm just so excited and so grateful that you're doing it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to share it. And I think, as I've continued, I've just gotten more and more into opening my channels and really receiving, like opening my channels to source and just recognizing that I am a channel, from like source through me, through music. And I didn't understand that for a long time. And then it felt a little bit like, well, who am I to say that,
Syndrome.
Yeah, but actually, interestingly, I started studying human design and gene keys. I don't know if you've heard about human
I
design
was
and gene.
curious what you are.
Yeah.
Such a
Well,
soaking
in
in.
terms of human design, I'm a projector. I'm
Okay.
an
I
emotional projector 1-3. But I learning not only about that, but gene keys really changed my life. And when I really started to embody my gene keys is when I really understand, I started really understanding what my gifts are, what my highest blueprint is, what I'm here to do, and that has helped me so much further my confidence and clarity and in my art. Yeah.
love
So,
that so much. Yeah, I think it's important for us to like reread our human designer gene keys, as often as we can, just to like reconnect and be like, wow, like how amazing am I? And like when we're like staying focused on our aligned goals and things like that, I think it's kind of fun, right? Like God gives you this blueprint and this like outline, like here you go, like best of luck in your humanness. And then we go back and like read and like you really
yeah.
are what the gene key said for you, which is how I want to like read it, your chart. But it's like, yeah, like I'm doing such a good job at this human thing. Like I am like so living in an aligned space and helping people with my words and my energy and my vibration. And like I keep picturing you as like this adorable little 4-year-old with like your long curly hair, like just playing the piano. And to me, that's amazing because I not yet have musical gifts, but like to me, playing the piano was like the coolest thing. And like for someone to do that so young is so cool. And it's like clearly that you are here for a reason and you're gifted because you can play this like magical instrument.
No, thank you. Yeah. Well, it's like a part of me. Yeah. You know, I, I I don't remember life without playing the piano.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that so much. So, as an artist, raising your children now, like stepping in and like claiming that like you are a channel and you're here to help us with messages. What are things in your everyday life where you really focus on art and beauty? Like, is it a lot of music, or do you focus on other aspects of that too?
You mean for inspiration or for grounding type of
Yeah,
thing
it's like related to art.
related to art? Well, to me, nature is the most beautiful art, you
Oh,
know. So I I receive my inspiration there and grounding there, clarity there, ideas, on walks. Sometimes I like to just look at the trees. Yeah, I have a garden that I enjoy, nurturing. Um, And, I grow vegetables and have lots of flowers and things like that. So for me, that is art. That is, you know, the beauty of this planet is just so incredible to me. So I really like to soak myself in that.
Mhm.
Uh, and surprisingly, I don't listen to a lot of music,
That's
you
amazing.
know, and a lot of people, ask, well, who are your favorite artists? It's not that I haven't. I definitely have listened to a lot of music throughout my life, but lately I just find my inspiration, like I just want to listen to the birds, and the water rush. And to me, that's the music to my ears, um, or children playing, or just like, because that's where I can really connect with myself and my higher self. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. And yeah, like such a clear image of what it really is to be like seeing beauty everywhere, like living with that connection, which to me like creates joy, right? Like being connected to Mother Earth and yeah, the birds. And like we were talking, one of the interviews, we were talking about chipmunks. And like the other day, there was this crazy rainstorm. And so I was leaving the restaurant after multiple times where the power went in and out. And I walk outside and I'm like, I keep hearing ribbit, like so loud and like clearly, like you can hear ribbit, like it's saying that. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool machine. I wonder if that's like one of their marketing tactics to get people to come in. And just by a nudge, I walked around to the little fountain and I'm like, cause I'm like, I wonder where the speaker's coming from. It was not. They were legit frogs and they were all over this pond. And one of them had this cute little neck, just like ribbit, ribbit. And I was like, this is so cool. And like, what a beautiful noise. And they're just like out here living their best little life in this pond.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yeah. And there's so much beauty to be found and art to be found in nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And definitely your videos, but I think maybe even just some of the visuals that I get from like when I have you on my Spotify or whatever, like I picture you just like being in nature in this like beautiful dress and just like kind of just like dancing with nature.
Yeah, I'm pretty much like that.
Yeah, like the flower child thing totally resonated. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's amazing. And you're
Sometimes
on the same page.
yeah, I mean, not all the time, but you know, in my joy, yeah, I would say dancing or swimming. I love to swim, so movement in nature, I would say. Yeah, definitely. And I was thinking also that um, just in terms of art and beauty, I grew up in a very artistic family. My mother is a painter, but she started painting later in life too. So what really wasn't until after all of us were out of the house that she started painting. But
Wow.
my grandmother's painted, one sculpted as well. I have aunts, great aunts that are painters. My sister's a painter. A lot of visual artists. Uh,
Mm.
I'm the only one who followed the path of music, but I think that influences me a lot in terms of, especially with the making of the videos. Like I have a very certain aesthetic that I see, that I know that I want to convey, and um that feels really important to me to go along with the music. Like I'm really enjoying that sort of multimedia presentation of the
Yeah.
music skills, and that's sort of more my background, both in my family and my education. So and it was been my dream since I was a little girl. So I feel like it's all come together now, and I'm hoping to explore that further, to take that even further, of the putting together the visual art with the music. I'm sure there's a lot of ways besides video that I can find to convey that. So to be continued. We'll see how it evolves.
I love that. I love that so much. And I think that especially just as like, and this, I know this is like a total different container that we could talk about it with like everyone here in the summit, but it's like claiming this as your business. Like, this is how you contribute to society. This is how you make a living. And just the beauty in that, that like you get to do this work and just help people heal through your music. And like we talked about the first conversation we had, like I just gotten certified in Reiki, and I was like, I'm using your songs for Reiki because like I know how it affects me, and just even mentioning it, I had a little pull on my heart. But people feel that. And there's a reason why they have these studies about music helping with Alzheimer's versus music that makes you have more dark thoughts. Like, it really
Right.
matters. And I love that you are growing and evolving through life with your music. And I think that's just such an amazing, amazing thing, because we can talk about authenticity all day long, but at the end of the day.
Yeah, I start, um, uh, you know, I understand what you're saying with the Reiki. I combine the music with the gene keys a bit, and um starting to work on custom songs for people to access their highest blueprint of their gene key through music. So that becomes a healing.
Whoa,
Um, yeah, yeah.
genius.
So yeah, so that is and something that I'm offering, and both for individuals and for businesses. So I'm excited about that. And I feel that that's really where my genius lies, is being able to pick up the energy of other people, and as I said before, and the collective, but being able to tap into somebody's energy and using the gene keys as a tool to really be able to see what's going on with somebody and be able to have a conversation about what I see and how does that resonate, how it doesn't resonate, and some of
Wow.
the life, and then weaving that into music.
Well, that is amazing. And definitely, if you're listening and you're like, this is amazing, like I'm experiencing this right now, like I want to schedule a call with you to do that. Definitely please get in Jennifer's world. You can just click the link below to get into her world to get access to her music. And then this offering, I mean, you think of all those people out there that are like, they need like podcast jingle, and like they want a little bit of music for their master class. And like, I'm sure most of the people here are entrepreneurs, coaches, healers. This is amazing. And you should definitely have a conversation with Jennifer Harper about that, because I think it's genius and amazing and perfect.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it makes me really happy because I know how music heals me, and that's fundamentally why I've pursued music, is it's healing for me. And to be able to offer that for other people to be healed through music, not only to hear my music, but to have music created for them based on their life and their, like I said, their highest blueprint through the gene keys. It's like an activation, really. I would call it more of it.
That's
Wow.
exactly
Yeah.
so amazing. Like, yeah, I just feel like there's this highest potential, and like you're the person that helps bring them there. I love that. So definitely, guys, click the link below to get into Jennifer's world so that you can, I mean, just listen to her music, maybe do more with the gene keys with her, just all of the things that she can help serve you with. It's just like such a beautiful, beautiful place to be.
Mhm. Thank you.
In closing, is there anything you wanted to add about how you view beauty?
How I view beauty. I think, I guess I want to say that I feel like beauty is authenticity,
I love
you
it.
know,
Yes.
because we all are so different, and we all have our gifts. And I think it's so easy to, like I said, for years, I was afraid of sharing my gifts, of my voice. And um, I think the vulnerability and authenticity to just be who you are and share who you really are, and sharing your own voice is music to my ears. Is beautiful whenever I hear somebody doing that. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah.
Well, I cannot wait for your new song, and I'm so excited for people to get to know you more and get to know your music more. So please click the link below to get into Jennifer Harper's world. And I'm just so grateful for your time, love, and energy and contribution. And just thank you so, so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited for this whole event that you've put together. It's really incredible.
Me too. I'm really grateful to be doing it. And I'm so grateful for everyone here who is listening and watching. And we will see you in the next conversation. Bye
Yeah.
for now.